Hi everybody, how you all doing? This is Mark here. This video is for the CCC, and in this one I thought I would do a review on an old graphic novel that I've got. It's a bit of an oddity actually. I've not seen this around much, and I've showed it on a previous video, which I think was for this channel as well. The graphic novel is by James Herbert and Ian Miller, and it's called The City. Now, if you know horror books and horror authors and that, James Herbert wrote the stories The Rats and The Fog. He also wrote the story Fluke, which was about a dog that could read telepathic in it. And Ian Miller is usually better known for his work with what was it? It's the work of Games Workshop Publishing. He does a lot of artwork for that. This is the one and only time that James Herbert has actually gone into the graphic novel area of horror books, and it's a futuristic look at the universe of his Rats horror books. If you haven't read The Rats by James Herbert, excuse me, it's a story about, strange enough, rats, and they become super intelligent and they end up killing people and finally taking over the world. That's not all in one book, I think there's over several books in it, but this one is the future of mankind. And I have to say, this is some of the eeriest illustrations I have seen in a book ever. Ian Miller's artwork is so creepy in this, and the writing for this graphic novel is really, if you read this once, you will never forget it. It is that creepy. I mean, you can see just by the front cover how creepy it is. It is just so gnarly, and it's like super gothic sort of artwork. I'll show you some interior artwork in there. There you go. I don't know if that comes up okay. There you go. And in this graphic novel we have the protagonist, who is a single man who goes back into the city. It's an unnamed city, it could be any city around the world, and he goes in there to see if he can save his wife and his children. On the way, he comes across human rat hybrids that are grotesque, disfigured abominations of humanity. See if I can find some pictures of it. I don't know if this actually come up on the video, but there we go. There's some human rat hybrids, and he dispatches them pretty well as well. He goes in there with two robotic dogs that he has built himself as for protection and to help him get into the city and get out again. And as he goes further into the city, he ends up meeting up with the humans, who are now just slaves to the rats. Some humans are walking around. I mean, the humans in this are nothing more than just mindless zombie husks of what they used to be, of humanity used to be. A lot of the humans walk around with the mutated rats on them, and the mutated rats use these humans as transportation to where they want to go. He meets up with this guy who seems to be a bit mentally disturbed, but gives him some pretty good information on where his family is. On the way to his family, he comes across an area where you see mutated humans and rats working side by side as slaves and masters. You see what I mean by this is a really freaky artwork by Ian Miller? Absolutely freaky. And he goes deeper and deeper into the city, comes across a pack of giant rats that they just take no notice of him. They just run by him because he's insignificant to them. He finally gets to where his family are, and he sees his wife, who is completely out of her mind. She's completely lost the plot. He keeps on asking her where their children are, where their childs are, and she keeps on saying, "Oh, it's here." He looks around the house, can't see them. He goes into one room, he sees the skeletons of his kids. He goes back to his wife and says to her what happened. She is completely out of her head, completely lost, but she's holding a bundle, and he takes the bundle away from her, and it's a rat-human hybrid, which he isn't too happy about, and you can imagine what happens after that. So he ends up destroying the home that he used to live in with his wife and his family, because there's nothing left of his wife, nothing left of his kids, and he decides to go to the giant rat that is running the city and to kill that, because that's the only thing he can do now. And I'll just show you this picture. This is some of the freakiest artwork you're ever going to see. I'm hoping this is coming up on the picture. Yeah, how's that for freaky? I mean, this is one of the darkest graphic novels I have ever read, but it is such an oddity that I had to put it up here because I thought some people might be interested in it. Eventually, he manages to get out of the city by destroying the bridge to get into the city. He managed to destroy that so that nobody else can go in and out, and none of the mutated rats can get in and out. And that's where the story ends. And yeah, this is such a brilliant comic. If you've ever read this, you'll never have ever forgotten it. If you manage to find a copy of this fairly cheaply, I would recommend picking this up because it is a brilliant read. There's not many words in it, but it doesn't really need it because the artwork in it is so powerful. I mean, you saw some of the amazing artwork. Yes, it is grotesque and very twisted artwork inside, but it is such powerful artwork that Ian Miller does that it just draws you into that world. And yeah, it's not the happiest of comics in the world to read, but it is a really good read. If you like James Herbert and you've never seen this before, I recommend picking it up. If you like horror books or horror comics or horror movies, pick this up. If you like future worlds where mankind is near enough completely obliterated, then pick this up. But yeah, there you go. This is my review on James Herbert and Ian Miller's The City. Hope this was enjoyable for everybody. Hope this book was of interest to anybody, and hopefully I'll be doing another video for the CCC very soon, and I shall go now and let the next guy come in and do what he has to do. Okay, so thanks all for watching. Ta-ta for now.